Hello and welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you how I managed to take advantage of this trade on USD, and I'm also going to be sharing my weekly outlook. So first things first, let's actually jump straight into our trade. As you can see in Asian session, the point of this was actually retracement, continuing the overall profile of, our retracement profile to the overall upside. So this is what I actually identified. So as you can see, overall, historically, as we've seen in the previous weeks, see that participants have put prices lower, meaning more likely than not, as we trade, to our areas of discount, more likely than not, market participants are going to push prices higher and retrace back into, some of our areas of liquidity from this leg, such as our previous monthly highs and some of our, parameters on the higher time frame, such as the fair value gap. Now, same thing goes for our lower time frame, okay? So, as you can see, if we retrace back into this leg, and overall we're in the retracement profile on our higher time frame, more likely than not we are going to see participants then push prices higher in the overall direction of our higher time frame bias, in this case our high. Now let's jump down to more how market participants chose to trade in our specific session. So as you can see, Asian retracement into our gap here. We then saw on our 15-minute time frame the intent to actually price it high was very clear. Saw this displacement in London trading session, and as we saw our clear candle close on our hourly time frame above our Asian high here. This is when I'm going to be happy with the day, more likely not be in. Now, if participants were to actually push price lower, this would validate my overall daily bias to the overall upside, making the loss just part of my overall system. So enough said with this trade. Let's actually dive onto my overall outlook on price, post Monday's trading actions and what we've seen in some of our recent previous weeks. So as you can see, okay, what was the objective of our previous week? We actually saw our range of consolidation engineering our sell side liquidity in the overall direction of our higher time frame bias. Now, from this, post consolidation, we actually saw market participants actually push price back into our daily fair value gap, and it wasn't until today where intent could clearly be shown that market participants do want prices still lower, even though we've seen this leg actually trade back into our daily fair value gap. Now, as you can see on our 4-hour time frame, intent to the downside very clear. This can be shown by our how the 4-hour actually materialized. You can see the overall significance of this wick, reacting off our 4-hour fair value gap and then trading straight below, actually disrespecting our 4-hour fair value gap. So what does this mean? This means more likely than not, going into the latter of the week, we are actually going to see participants make a run for our previous monthly low, which aligns nicely with our fair value gap. Now let's actually take a quick look at the economic calendar. As you can see, Tuesday we actually have no high impact news, therefore more likely than not we may actually see some sort of range of consolidation, or some sort of retracement back into our leg, then consolidate. Then when our significant driver, in this case our non-farm employment, comes into play, then we may see some sort of manipulation to the upside, what we've seen in previous weeks, and then this is where our framework will come in the latter half of the week. As you can see, on Thursday we've got some of our drivers now and unemployment claims. Now these drivers will act as drivers for our doll actually highlighted, so in line with our over higher time frame bias, in this case as mentioned our monthly fair value gap. So Friday as well, you can actually see some more significant drivers. We may actually see some sort of chop on Thursday, but as you lot all know, predictability actually increases latter the more we actually get into the week. So let's actually take a look at EURUSD. So as you can see, obviously shown clear signs of intent that market participants do want to push this higher as a result of our trading day today. What I'm actually anticipating very similar. Mirroring the dollar index, we can see retracement tomorrow, some sort of range of consolidation, manipulation to low, and then this is where we potentially see our run up to our monthly fair value gap in line with the dollar index. Now, the reason why I'm actually going to be bearish for dollar index, adding on to some of our technical parameters, is also the way our US 10 years is actually materializing. As you can see, there's clear intent to the downside. Take a look at our weekly chart, you can actually see our previous week actually, disrespected our weekly fair value gap, meaning more likely than not, market participants are going to carry on pushing prices lower. And this is going to be, very similar, for the dollar index. So I do hope this video helps, and I hope it was informative. I'm going to be keeping up with the videos, improving a few things in my Telegram as we go on. Thank you very much for listening if you did